o'clock, that means we get to start. This is what your students hear all the time. We start on time. Welcome. Welcome to the graduates, to the families, and the friends on this beautiful occasion as we celebrate an incredible group of people, the Radiologic Technology Class of 2017, on this special day. My name is Joanne Robertson, and I'm an adjunct faculty member and also a clinical coordinator for the Radiologic Technology program. Each year in the final semester of the program, the students design their customized graduation ceremony, which reflects their unique style and personality as a group. We hope you'll enjoy the celebration and the awards, and I'd like to invite you at this time, if you wouldn't mind, to stand up for the entrance of the Santa Rosa Junior College Radiologic Technology Class of 2017. I guess this is dramatic effect. We're waiting for music. Or they're going to dance in. We never know. Please sit down. We are here to celebrate the class of 2017 and to welcome and thank the many supporters who have helped them get to this point in their lives. And this is why we congratulate the families and the friends, because this is truly their accomplishment as well. And I know on behalf of the graduates, I can say thank you for their support. And we owe a great deal of thanks to our medical imaging community as well, which supports and trains them. Hopefully we'll soon hire them. And thank you for joining us today, those of you who are here. And now to introduce you to the college officials and the faculty, I'd first like to just introduce Dr. Frank Chong, Superintendent and President, Santa Rosa Junior College. Deb Chivizola, Dean of Health Sciences. Rich Lara, Radiologic Technology Program Director. Keith Deal, Adjunct Faculty. Tammy Allender, Adjunct Faculty. And Bonnie Patterson, Adjunct Faculty in Clinical. I am very honored that the graduates have asked me to do the welcome speech this year. Every year it's with mixed emotions that I address the group because we hate to see you go, but it's such a joy for me when I make my rounds as a clinical coordinator and I see our alumni in action in their careers. I see the life-altering aspects of succeeding in their chosen path. And it's truly a game changer that will serve these graduates throughout their lives and allows the freedom to choose happiness. During my clinical visits, I get to chat with all of our alumni that are out there working alongside with our students. And they share with me their milestones along the way. They're cementing new and existing relationships. They're buying homes. They're creating families and volunteering in the community. taking vacations, and building better futures for themselves and their loved ones. All good things that a person can have the freedom to create once the burden of not having enough income is lifted from their plates. And a funny thing lately, as I've been going around, I've noticed that a lot of the alumni that I actually taught are now retired. So, does that tell you I've been teaching too long? Or it tells you what you have in your future. Someday you'll retire from this career because you won't want to leave it. You'll be with it for a long time. So, to the graduates, a little over 2 years ago, you got notification that you had been accepted into the Radiologic Technology program. Once you had met the rigorous prerequisites and the academic standards that were required, your name went into the applicant pool. Then the infamous lottery system was the next step, and guess what? You won. Some of you were applying for the first time, and some of you applied for many years before you got in, and you kept reapplying. But it wasn't enough to win the lottery, because that is where the harder work really began. Your success now speaks of the tenacity and the perseverance that you have. As faculty, we see the struggles that students have in juggling life circumstances while tackling the daily task of mastering a complex course of studies over 2 years. Then, of course, they took prerequisites for at least 2 years, got their associate's degree, applied many times. So, as you all know, this is a long process. I so admire each of you, and I admire each of you for various reasons. But I admire you for what you have already accomplished, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish next. And toward your next goals, always remember to fake it till you make it. And by that I mean show confidence and show faith in the outcomes. Show confidence and faith in your ability going forward and of all the possibilities that you have dreamed of in life. For that is required for what you want to achieve the most. And with the tenacity that I've already witnessed each single one of you has put into this, I have no doubt that you will achieve all the dreams in life. And one more thing, and I know you will put to good use all that the faculty has taught you technically, but I hope you will always remember that we have taught you about humanity toward patients and others. You can be the kind of radiographer, the kind of person who makes a difference in the lives of those around you. I am inspired when I see you strive to be kind and compassionate while you simultaneously put your technical skills to use. That is the goal. Don't forget that you have chosen work in which you can make a difference in how people feel for those moments that you are with them. So, certified radiologic technologists, thank you for inspiring me and for letting me walk alongside you for a while. And thank you for making every day that I'm with you a better day. Please know that you have added greatly to my life. And go forward and make the most of this life you have created for yourselves and your loved ones. So be happy. Congratulations. I'd like to invite Dean Chigazola to the podium.
Thank you, Joanne. I debated what I wanted to say to you today, so I kind of waited to hear what Joanne was going to say. And 2 words kept coming to mind that I wanted to share with you. As a first-generation college student myself, and a product of the community college system, I started in a program similar to yours, a dental hygiene program in Sacramento. So this is very special to me. So I feel a real bond with you just because of a fellow professional in healthcare. I also see one of our trio graduates from the HOPE program, so congratulations. And that was one of the things I want to talk to you about was grit. And I'll borrow a little bit from Angela Duckworth, who wrote the book Grit, and she has a TED Talk if you're interested. But grit has to do with talent. Talent's just kind of overrated because it takes twice as much effort to achieve. So those of you that have stuck it out, you've persevered, and you've shown me that you have grit, and you're gonna need grit through the rest of your life. It's gonna serve you very well. So I wanted to acknowledge you for your grit. Second, we talk a lot about passion, especially in healthcare. This is my passion, I found my calling, but I truly believe that passion grows and develops. So you haven't found your passion necessarily, maybe it found you, you're on your path, it's gonna change and grow, but I wanted to encourage you to keep growing, come back, teach for us, get your bachelor's degree, get your master's degree, just keep on going because you've got the grit, you can do whatever you want, you don't know where you're going. So I just wanted to share those little words of wisdom or thoughts that I sent to you today. So I'm going to keep it brief and just introduce Dr. Frank Chong to give you a few more words of wisdom and acknowledgement of your accomplishments. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, our faculty, staff, students, alumni, how many in the audience attended SRJC? Raise your hands. Whoa. Make sure we get their emails because I want to get a check out of them for alumni. You guys get fooled every time, and you're next. Seriously, I'm just so delighted to be here today. SRJC Radiologic Technologist Program. See, I'm so old, I used to call them X-ray techs. But now you're radiologic technologists. I'll call you RTs, okay? So you RTs really represent the best and the brightest. SRJC's program started in 1971. It was accredited in 1988. And we've been doing this for well over 45 years. Amazing. So when you go to a Sutter or Kaiser or Memorial or a Petaluma Health Clinic, and you need to get work done, more than likely it'll be somebody who is trained at the JC. So you have a legacy that precedes you. But what we do at the JC is we always say we're good, but we want to get great. So every time we graduate another class, we think they're better and better because the technology's better. And we have great, great faculty. Let's give our faculty a big hand. I'm a little upset at Keith because I told him not to outdress the president. That's rule number one. And I didn't get the memo. I would have worn my pants. I have a pair like that too. I'm going to go to TJ Maxx right after this and get me one. But besides just being sharp dressers and beautiful people, they really are dedicated. And it's really the faculty and the staff, and we work together as a team. And they're my dream team, like the Warriors have a championship. They're my Warriors because they work together and we have strength in numbers. And I know oftentimes they go above and beyond, as you know, when you're struggling. And Dean Chigazola talked about grit. You have grit, or else you wouldn't be sitting here. And she said, don't stop here, it's a lifelong education, You can come back to the community college and get more training. You can go on to Sonoma State or other UCSF. Well, many of our allied health professionals go on, and this is a springboard to another career. Or if you choose to be an RT for the rest of your life, hey, that's fine. It's a great profession. So next year, we're going to celebrate our 100th anniversary. SRJC started in 1918, if you do the math. Next year's 2018, and it's amazing legacy. So you are graduating from one of the finest institutions of higher education, not only in the region, in the state, but in the country. We were just recently this week awarded for the 5th time in 5 consecutive years, one of the great colleges to work for by the Chronicle of Higher Education. So be proud of what you accomplished. But I would say don't be complacent. And I'll close with a quote. When I was working in Washington, D.C., and Joe Biden, Vice President Biden, was talking to us, and he said to us, education really is about turning mirrors into windows. Mirrors into windows. And now you can look out in that window and see beautiful Sonoma County. You have great careers ahead of you, great lives ahead of you. And all I say is don't forget SRJC because we won't forget you. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rich Lair. I'm the program director for the Radiologic Technology program, and I've held this position for 5 years. It's a difficult thing to say goodbye, but faculty and I do it every year on this occasion. It's painful to face an empty space looming where you guys have been for the last 2 years. This ceremony signifies that you have survived and achieved despite all of the hell and high water that it took to get here. And don't feel special, we're doing the same thing for the continuing class as well as last year's class and for 40 or so before then. It's perhaps fitting that on your graduation and coming into a highly technical field, we gain perspective of what that means. And remember 48 years ago, when astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went to the moon. As the world watched with breath held and fingers crossed, state-of-the-art cutting-edge technology brought Apollo 11 to the moon and safely back again. And the miracle of television gave the world access to the unfolding drama. The state-of-the-art from the 1960s pales by comparison to what we have today. The cell phone in your pocket is millions of times faster and more powerful than the computers that went to the moon. And the state-of-the-art in medicine is also light years ahead. Consider the very first total hip replacements in 1962, the first artificial heart in 63, balloon catheters in 1969. In the imaging department, ultrasound was first recognized for medical use in 1964, and MRI didn't yet exist, although Alan Carmack had completed all the mathematical computations and algorithms that CT would need to reconstruct the images. Godfrey Hounsfield would not have a working CT scanner until 1971, and that was the year that our SRJC program came to be. And now look at yourselves. For at least the past 2 years, you've immersed yourself in healthcare, working in it, training in it, participating in it, living it. It will interest you to know that you have collectively volunteered 36,000 hours of professional service, standing side by side with paid staff and performing the exact same exams as they, although at a much lower rate of pay. It will interest you to know that about 1,500 of those 36,000 hours have been dedicated to fluoroscopy cases, either in the hospital department, in the operating room, or in the outpatient clinic. It will interest you to know that collectively you have performed approximately 50,000 exams on behalf of the patients who trust their healthcare to our member clinical affiliates. And every single one of those exams was performed and evaluated and judged to be at or above the diagnostic level. By doing this, you brought diagnostic clarity to the patients who needed it, and honor onto yourselves, onto our program, and onto the profession of radiologic technology. Members of the audience will notice that some of our graduates are wearing pins and/or honor cords signifying participation and membership in various organizations supporting our healthcare programs and the radiologic and imaging sciences. 11 members of the graduating class have applied for and received membership in Lambda Nu, the National Honor Society for the Radiologic and Imaging Sciences. Its objectives are to foster academic scholarship at the highest academic level, to promote research and investigation in the radiologic and imaging sciences, and to recognize exemplary scholarship. Membership in Lambda Nu requires outreach activities to patients and to the general public, research in the radiologic sciences, and finally an overall GPA of 3.0 or higher. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Courtney Beal, Aaron Conway, Michelle Harris, Teo Jacinto, Kelly Larson, Haley Monk, Cheryl Rassi, Barbara Royers, Cheryl Salvetti, Caitlin Sartori, and Ryan Seymour. The membership of Lambda Nu. When you all started in August 2015, I told you that your life was going to change. You will agree that your life has changed over the past 2 years, and it will again today. Today, you change from being a student in the Radiologic Technology program to becoming a student of radiologic technology. Lifelong learning will require that you stay abreast of the ever-evolving nature of our industry and remain aware of the new equipment, the new technologies, and the current trends. You're not done with learning. Continuing education looms large in your future, and it will remain at the heart of your certification for your entire career. It's a difficult thing to say goodbye, but we're not releasing you unprepared. By virtue of successfully completing our program, you're now educationally prepared and clinically competent. You possess more than just textbook version of radiology. You also have acquired a digital fluency, and that makes you a technologist of the here and now and of the future. You've achieved the change that you wanted. You became the technologist you wanted to be. Show us how good that is. My best wishes for the graduating class 2017. The students in both classes know that in the courses that I teach, and even the ones that I don't teach, my camera and I are frequent participants in the classroom and the lab. Many students ask me, what are you going to do with all those pictures? And the answer is, in my spare time, I like to produce a video yearbook for the graduating class. Gary, at your convenience.
Working alone in his laboratory, German physicist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen observed an unusual phenomenon. He was experimenting with a cathode ray tube when he noticed a faint glow on a piece of cardboard that had been coated with a phosphorus material. When he placed his hand between the tube and the cardboard, he was astonished to see the bones of his own hand. The date was November 8th, 1895. Röntgen knew that he had discovered something, but he didn't know what it was. So he called the mysterious rays X-rays, because X is the mathematical symbol for an unknown quantity. To test his theories regarding this discovery, he enlisted the aid of his wife Bertha. A radiograph of her hand is traditionally considered the first radiograph, and it took nearly 20 minutes of radiation exposure to produce this image. Röntgen quickly published his findings and lectured extensively. He won the first Nobel Prize for Physics in 1901. The medical community recognized the great potential for X-rays, and a renaissance of discovery predominated the early years after Professor Röntgen's discovery. Radiography was used extensively to identify tuberculosis in this country and abroad. The awareness of radiation protection became important as people who used X-rays began to fall victim to strange diseases. Many lost fingers, limbs, or even their lives. To combat the hazards associated with the casual and untrained use of X-rays, the X-ray community turned to another X factor, competence. People who were properly trained were initially called X-ray technicians. Presently, we are known as radiologic technologists. For over 120 years, radiologic technologists have been important members of the healthcare team, and tonight, 20 more individuals have proven their competence and become technologists. Santa Rosa Junior College Radiologic Technology Program proudly remembers the graduating class of 2017.
All right, the lights are going to come up. Graduates.
Well, I've been teaching for 12 years. I never get used to doing this in front of all of you. From them, it's no problem, but for you guys, it's hard. My name is Bonnie Patterson, and I want to welcome family, friends, colleagues, previous graduates, staff, and administration of the San Jose Junior College, and all of our supporting clinical sites to the graduation today. I currently practice as a radiologic technologist and have been doing so for the past 24 years. I won't say who, but one of our staff members was my instructor. And I'm not retired yet. I am also an adjunct faculty member and a clinical coordinator, and I've been teaching for the San Jose Junior College for 12 years. I teach patient care, pathology, mammography, and I am a clinical coordinator. I feel it is important to keep up on my skills so I can teach cutting-edge information in our field. I think that's a vital tool for our students to hear real-life experiences as they're going through this process of learning. To the family and friends of the graduating class, thank you for your continued support for allowing the class of 2017 to further their education in our program. They started their path to become radiologic technologists long before they were accepted into our program. They have had to take anatomy, physiology, psychology, English, math, and many, many, many more. Those courses were prerequisites before they got accepted into the program. Now, the waiting begins, and fingers crossed, they get into the Radiologic Technology program. Once they were accepted, they took courses in positioning, physics, radiobiology, thanks Keith, pathology, patient care, special procedures, and many, many hours of clinical experience. 1,740 to be exact. That's per student. Some students wanted to show off and take our elective courses in MRI and mammography on top of the required courses and clinical experience. The students graduate from the Radiologic Technology program with an Associate of Science degree and a certificate of completion of the Santa Rosa Junior College Radiologic Technology program. Some students will also get a certificate of completion for the didactic portion in mammography and an introduction to MRI. But that's not all. Now they sit for their American Registry of Radiologic Technology exam. They must pass this exam with a minimum of 75%. They know if they passed or not on the same day that they took their exam. And if they passed, they must wait for the state of California Radiologic Health Branch to send them their state licenses in the mail, which takes 6 to 8 weeks, long time. Some of you already know what I'm talking about because you lived through all of this with your family member or friend. It takes a small army to allow your graduate to pursue a career in radiologic technology. And I know they appreciate your support. Class of 2017. I don't like looking this way. I wish you were down there. I realize you've had to make sacrifices of your own because I was once in your shoes, graduating from this very program many years ago. You've worked hard, really hard, for the last 2 years of our program, and before that, to get here today. You've heard me speak enough in the past 2 years. Now it's your turn. You need to show all the knowledge that you've obtained to future graduates, to future students, okay? You guys willing to do that? Awesome. I am so proud of you, and I look forward to working with you, either directly or indirectly in the future. I would like to make one more suggestion, if I may, just one. Please be sure to take time to listen to your patients and treat them as if they were your family member, okay? Congratulations on your achievements. Thank you. I'd like to invite Keith Gill to podium, please.
This is nice having you guys up here with us. My name's Keith Deal, and I'm an adjunct instructor here, and I had the pleasure of being the instructor of this very dynamic class that's in front of you. And I teach radiation physics, radiobiology, and radiation protection. And I've always looked forward to the days that I spent with this class on campus. And I'm so happy to be able to call you fellow healthcare professionals now rather than my students. It's a different relationship now. So you've chosen a career where we see people at their worst. However, the amazing part of our jobs is that we can make a difference in the lives of those people through compassion, empathy, integrity, and understanding. You have also chosen a career where you will put in long hours, take call, come in contact with bodily fluids, and bark orders to hold still and stop breathing. So, if this works. So I thought I would send you off on your journey with this little ditty originally sung by Cyndi Lauper. Don't know if I can put this working or not. Bonnie, can you help me, please? Okay. We're up here. Doesn't look like our music's gonna work. You'll come home in the morning light. Your family says, when you gonna live your life right? Oh, family dear, we are the fortunate ones. And Red Tex, they wanna have fun. Oh, Red Tex, just wanna have fun. The phone rings in the middle of the night. I beat my head and say, what have I done with my life? Oh, that's right, I'm an RT now. Remember, Rad Techs, they just want to have fun. Oh, Rad Techs just want to have fun. That's all we really want. Some fun when the working day is done. Oh, Rad Techs, they want to have fun. Oh, yes, we want to have fun. And I'd like to introduce Tammy Allender next.
Hi, my name is Tammy Allender. I'm adjunct faculty and clinical coordinator for this program. I teach RT 100, survey of medical imaging, and RT 60, interim medical imaging. First, I want to thank everyone who's here tonight, faculty and families and friends. We're all here to celebrate these students and to acknowledge that although they're ending one journey, they're just beginning a new one. Without all of you, we would not be here tonight. They could not have made this without your encouragement, your love, and your support. To the graduates, as an alumni, I remember seeing that first day of orientation, surrounded by complete strangers, both excited and terrified, with absolutely no clue what I'd gotten myself into. I know the past 2 years haven't been easy. Not only did you have to deal with golden class, getting up before sunrise to make it to clinical on time, lock yourselves in a room away from family and other forms of life so that you could study and do more homework in order to take an exam the next morning and score 95% or better to get an A. But you also have, in addition to all of that, the factors of jobs, families, marriages, relationships, children, bills, sickness, and the daily grind that otherwise is life. And although you were surrounded by determined, ambitious, and sincerely helpful peers, the mentors critical to your success were your clinical instructors and staff technologists. They held you to high standards to help you reach your full potential, and you met every one of those expectations. They guided you through their examples of leadership. Emulate the best of what you learned from each of them. Once you become a professional, every one of you will become a leader. In whatever setting or position you find yourself, you will have the opportunity to give back and change someone's life. If you haven't thought about yourself as a leader, you better do it right now. No matter what modality or career path you take, you will, at some time, encounter a brand new student that shows up in the department during marathons. Sometimes it'll be the middle of a stressful shift. It's an easy thing to take for granted the knowledge you gain and to forget the patience of those who mentored you. Be the professional that those students want to remain. Share all of the knowledge that you've gained along the way as you help them form the new generation of professionals. Graduation, I went to at one point, the keynote speaker said, life is not about warming yourself with the fire. Life is about building the fire. And generosity is the match. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody. Always remember your roots. And I ask you when that new student comes to your department, never forget what it felt like to be a new student. This is the last time that as students, you will all be in the same place at the same time. You're no longer strangers, but a cohesive group with bonds that no one else can understand. Some of you will lose touch in the future, but long after you've forgotten what the last fact you crammed into your head for that final exam was, you will remember a lesson learned from peers, maybe mentors, and smile. Some of you may enter the field straight away. Some of you may be continuing on your education. Some of you may be standing up there someday. But get involved. Get involved with the profession. Get involved with the school. Ensure that quality patient care is always at the forefront of everything we do. Realize that you are the advocates for those who do not advocate for themselves. You are the helping hands of the people in our community, and realize that by even helping one person, you are making a difference. And you are making the world a better place, one patient at a time. May your new journey be filled with more unlimited potentials. It's been an honor to work with you. Golden Fires, congratulations.
So now it's time to hear from the graduates themselves, and first, we put this down for Erin is next. Erin Conway will address for the farewell.
Hello everyone, welcome. We did it. Guys, we've survived these last 2 years. I literally cannot believe this day is finally here. We all started this program with knowing that we would be here for 2 years. The end goal felt like a lifetime away. We crossed the days off our calendars, counted the hours, minutes, and seconds, and now it's here. A lot can happen in 2 years, and we made it. We have persisted through and have accomplished so much. I just wanted to say how proud I am of all of us sitting here today. I think I could confidently speak on behalf of our class and say thank you to everyone here. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we are today. These last few years have definitely not been easy. It all started when we all had this crazy idea to become radiologic technologists. We endured the 2 years of prereqs, and when we accomplished that, we applied to the Radiologic Technology program. The insanity officially started the day we received our acceptance letters. Probably one of the greatest days of our lives. It was definitely the greatest day of my life. Some of us tried for years to get in, while some of us got in right away. Regardless of how long it took, that day we received our acceptance letters, we became the class of 2017. You guys, I'm speaking to you, PL, Joanne, Bonnie, and Keith, you tried to scare us at orientation. We thought we knew what we signed up for. We knew it would be hard, but you told us it would be incredibly difficult. You explained to us this would consume our lives, and you gave us a fair warning. We heard you, but we definitely did not understand you. These have been the most difficult, stressful, nutty, yet rewarding 2 years of our lives. Not only have we been learning everything we need to know about the human body and what happens to it when you expose it to radiation, but also how to take beautiful x-rays on somebody that isn't a textbook patient. We've also lived our lives together for the last 2 years. Life didn't stop when we decided to do this. A lot of great things have happened, like some of us got engaged, some of us got married, And some not so great things happened, like some of us lost some loved ones, and some of us got really, really sick. I'm not sure how we got through all of this, but we did. We struggled to get here. Some days were so hard we wanted to give up, but we all have arrived here. We are such a lucky group of people to not only get accepted into this program, but to make it to this point. We made it and we've crossed the finish line. Like I said before, we couldn't have done it without everyone here. To our families, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for handling our panic attacks and nervous breakdowns. Thank you for telling us we can do it even when we felt like quitting. To our friends, thank you for understanding our absence and supporting our choice to ride this crazy ride. Thank you for allowing to put our friendship on the back burner so we could be successful in this program. To the faculty, staff, and all of our clinical instructors at all of our sites, thank you for letting us into your facilities. Thank you for letting us make mistakes. Thank you for your toughness, your patience, and most importantly, thank you for being our teachers. We learn what we can in the classroom, but it's you guys that allow us to apply what we learn, so thank you. To all of our clinical coordinators, thank you for always being there for us. Thank you for visiting us at our clinical sites and quizzing us on all of that anatomy that we had forgotten from the first semester. Bonnie, thank you for teaching us the most important aspect of our career, patient care. And also thank you for making each and every Friday of the first semester the most stressful and nerve-wracking days ever because we were trying to master that 2-minute hand wash. Joanne, thank you for always sending us positive, uplifting emails and telling us we can get through this when we needed to hear it the most. You really care about each and every one of us. Also, thank you for helping us understand the importance of patient protection. Because of you, I always hear in my head, how can I better protect my patient with every image I take? Keith, thank you for making the class that I was most terrified for the most friendly class. You made learning radiation physics and radiobiology physics and patient protection so enjoyable. You have such a passion for teaching that you made such a dry class like physics fun and easy to understand. Even though the days were really long, your lab classes were something to look forward to every week. And last but not least, number next, Professor Laird, PL. Thank you for not only being the director of this program, but also teaching us all of our classes, our positioning classes, venipuncture, review, everything. You not only have your own career as a radiologic technologist, but you have made us a priority. You somehow managed to keep track of all of us, as well as the brand new second-year class and the new incoming class. Your dedication to this program and to us is incredible, so thank you for everything you've done. We have all worked our butts off to get here, and I am so thrilled to be graduating with such a great group of people. Like I said before, I am so proud of all of us here. We are ready to leave the nest, and the future is ours to take a hold of. I wanted to end this with a quote. I chose this specific quote because I feel like it's not only relevant to our career field, but to our everyday lives. It's easy to get caught up in everyday life that we become little robots. We sometimes forget that the world around us has people in it. I chose this quote to be a reminder to all of us that we're not only working with patients every day, but we're working with people. As Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Kelly Larson to give his farewell address.
Distinguished guests, administrators, professors, friends, future co-workers, here is the graduating SRJC Radiologic Technology Class of 2017. Here we are. We've made it to the beginning. I'd say that it's amazing that all 20 of us that ended the program 2 years ago are graduating today, but let's be honest, it's no surprise at all. Sitting behind me are 19 of the sharpest young minds that I have ever met, and it has been the honor of my life to learn this craft with you. If you would have asked me 5 years ago what a rad tech was, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you. Now, I can tell you that whether you say mortis or mortis, oblique or oblique, I'm looking at you, Keith, radiologic technologists are the axis on which the atlas of the medical system pivots. What we do in the medical imaging department is just magic. We use glass tubes to make cosmic rays. We show what is just inches away but impossible to see. Every time I participate in a barium swallow, there is something stunning about listening to the patient talk while simultaneously watching their mandible dance across the screen. To our families, thank you for putting up with the 10-hour shifts and the late night study sessions, the long commutes and the emergency car repairs. Thank you for throwing us lifelines when we just couldn't keep our heads above water. None of us here could have made it alone, and you have our true gratitude. Professor Lair, it feels like just a few weeks ago that we met for our first positioning class. I remember it very well because I showed up at the race building instead of McKinney Hall, and I wandered around looking for a room number that didn't exist. Since we were instructed to never, ever be late, I sprinted across the campus with a bag full of my textbooks, only to show up out of breath and sweating at 7:02 a.m. on the first morning of our first class. It wasn't the first impression that I intended to make, but you just looked at me and you said, "Good morning, Kelly," and you left it at that. To all of our instructors, thank you for the stunningly hard work that you do. I'm sure that most of us have sent you a panicked email late at night, only to be met soon after with a common response. You have encouraged us, pushed us, counseled us, but most importantly, you've believed in us. As medical professionals and successful members of our society, there is no greater good to be done than to prepare the next generation for the success that you yourselves have achieved. To our administrators, thank you for placing so much value into vocational programs such as this. The best social welfare program ever established is spelled J-O-B, and there is no surer way into the middle class than a good career where dignity and passion drive you. Programs such as this reward hard work and academic excellence with lifetime returns, without saddling students with lifetime debts. To our clinical instructors, and everybody that took the time to teach us at our sites, thank you for all the tips and tricks that you taught us along the way. While students can learn theory and a degree of positioning skills in the class and in the lab, there is no substitute for attempting an upper extremity exam on a screaming toddler, or wondering how to ask someone if they're laying on something metal or if that might actually be a bullet lodged in their shoulder. As we round this final corner, let's remember that it's not just our accomplishments that define us, it's the spirit of our ambitions and our endeavors. Some of us have lost loved ones. Some of us have seen them saved. Some of us have been near death and learned the magic of medicine firsthand. We all want to give back. Now, as we reach the finish line, let's all just stop, take a deep breath, hold that breath, and don't forget to breathe again. We've made it to the end, and now our true lives are just beginning. Farewell, and thank you from the SRJC Radiologic Technology Class of 2017.
The students have mentioned the faculty, and the faculty who work with me, who are incredibly talented, who are incredibly dedicated, are known as clinical coordinators. And the clinical coordinators are the faculty members who go and visit the students in the clinical sites. But it's not all about us. We also have dedicated volunteer technologists in the clinical sites who actually do the teaching, who actually tell the students and mentor the students and help to show them what they learned in class and how to accurately do it on patients. We would be lost without our clinical instructors. in clinical sites. And I know that there are a number of clinical instructors here. For the clinical instructors who are in the audience, would you please stand and be recognized? As I said, we could not do this without you. All right. Yes, Joanne.
I think we have some future teachers in the group here too. I'm always making the pitch, because I really do want to retire someday. So this brings us to the certificate and awards part of the ceremony, which started, first graduating class from this program was 1973. So, that was over 44 years ago when this tradition was held, and we're happy to be able to continue it. So the ceremony is an important part of the student's ultimate success, and the certificate is a symbol of that. And it is conferred by the RT Program Director and faculty, Santa Rosa Junior College administrators, and on behalf of the college's Board of Trustees. So this year, I added a little something because within the last month or so, I decided to speak with each graduate individually because I really wanted to know, we hear their thoughts when they come in, but we don't really hear as much their thoughts when they leave us. And so I asked them, if you want me to share while you're getting your certificate, what little nugget did you glean from this program? What did you get that surprised you? Or what did you learn about yourself or others that surprised you? Or, what was the one little thing that came forward for you? And so it was very enlightening for me. And there were common threads, of course, with the camaraderie and the friendships and how hard it was. But anyway, you'll hear it for yourself, so you'll get to hear what your graduate had to say. I think it'll surprise you. So as each student will get their certificate of completion, you know your path up here, so we did rehearsal. So first of all, I'd like to call up here David Agus. David had worked in a medical environment before and had observed medical imaging professionals. He says, "This program changed my perspective. I no longer feel that I'm looking from the outside." David applied 4 times before he won the lottery, and he says it was a long journey, but it was worth it. Hands down. Courtney Beal. Says, "I observed how we have grown together as a class. We learned much from our own and others' experiences. We were closer and so supportive of each other." Courtney had the experience of being involved in caring for 2 different gunshot victims. She felt good about human service in such a difficult situation. Sorry, is that better? Thank you. Erin Conway. Told me, "I learned time management and organization, a good life lesson. I observed that we all worked very hard and made great sacrifices. What to do differently?" She says, "to not have a job while going through this program." Michelle Harris. Michelle told me, "This program has been very rewarding, more difficult than I expected. So I really surprise myself and feel that I'm capable of accomplishing anything I set my mind to." And then she adds, "I am also very grateful for this program because of the friendships I have gained over the past 2 years." Teo Jacinto. Teo says, "I have exceeded my expectations. This is more than I thought I would do, and I enjoy what I do. Now I have the confidence to further my education." Joseph Cato. Joseph says, I would be successful in life after this program. When I started, I thought maybe I wouldn't make it. Now I have gained confidence. I feel happy when I'm trying to help patients. At first, the career was about earning money. Now it is about empathy. Kelly Larson. Kelly says, this is an entrance for me into a decent living and lifestyle. He also reports that when he sees trauma situations, he is concerned about the patient. He wonders what happens after. He wants to obtain certification in other modalities, possibly Ian Choi Harvey. Ian says, I love working with professional people. I meet about 30 new people every day, patients, their families, and staff. He says he loved learning his profession and not just taking college classes. He says, X-ray is just the beginning for me. There's so much more to do now. Carrie McFarland. A lifetime group of friends is an amazing bonus in my life. Carrie has been a paramedic for many years, and she says the biggest surprise about medical imaging has been that it's not easy. People think it's just taking pictures. It has been a happy surprise, she says, with the physics, anatomy and physiology, surgery, and so much more. I am pretty proud of myself for sticking with it. She also came up to me later and said she was inspired to become a teacher. I hope that's true. Haley Monk. Haley says, I'm so happy with what I chose. It is harder than I thought it would be, but I made friends who have supported me and helped me through. I always had a great time in clinical, even at those times when the rest of life is not good. A patient saying, good job, means the most to me. Jenna Pearson. This program has broadened my perspective. I never worked with geriatric patients before, and this has opened my eyes. I like working with a variety of people, including children. She also says, I am thrilled that I chose this profession. I have grown more confident, I'm thicker skinned than before, and have become a better person. John Petrie. John says, I have enjoyed the process of believing in myself. I wanted to show myself and my family that I could do this. I will enjoy it when I can pass on this knowledge to the future students and the people I meet, the future applicants. Another teacher. Cheryl Rassi. Cheryl says, I have learned how unique each person is. They all have their own story to share. To take care of people and to help them is a blessing to me because I have the ability to bring some sparkle to their day. Jacqueline Roca. Jackie reported to me, I am thinking how lucky I am to have this opportunity to make life better. Some people are not as fortunate, and that keeps me humble. It makes me show more compassion for patients and others who have not been as lucky. Marlene Rojas Vasquez. Marlene told me, I'm a totally different person now. I was shy and never pictured myself having a career. Now I have confidence and realize I can do it. She is passing this knowledge and lessons on to her children. Barbara C. Royers. Barbara reported being surrounded by radiography from the age of 6 when visiting the radiology department where her dad worked as an RT. People would come up to her and say, "Your dad helped me." One important value, she says, is to make patients smile. Cheryl Salvetti. Cheryl says, when I started the program, I was surprised when I actually realized what I had gotten into, but I love every aspect of it. I have a career that makes a difference every day. Caitlin Sartori. Katie says, when I began the program, I was terrified because I was not an outgoing person. These last two years taught me how to come out of my comfort zone and to be more confident in myself. I was incredibly proud of myself when I got up and delivered a 10-minute speech in my last semester for Bonnie's pathology project. She also says, I had 2 major losses in my family during training, but the support of my classmates and the faculty helped tremendously. As hard as it all was, I couldn't be happier with my career choice, and I'm excited for what my future holds. Ryan M. Seymour. When I started, I was shy and lacked confidence. I became a proctor and helped the first-year students. I never thought I would do that. When doing a speech or presentation in my classes, it was terrifying. Now, when I have to speak up in surgery, I almost shout. Underscoring the camaraderie of the students, he adds, all my best friends now are in the program. Eric Allen Stanley. Eric reports, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. I constantly had to keep digging down deeper and studying harder. X-ray is like life. It's all about adaptation. I am glad I chose this career. I couldn't be happier, and it was worth it. So I would like to, before they sit down and we give them monetary awards, I think we should give them a hand again for congratulations. Okay, now for some money, right? Okay, so an award is a way for us to recognize these outstanding achievement of these students, now graduates. We would love to be able to have enough awards because they all deserve it, but there are certain people that have met the specific criteria. So all awards will be given as a monetary gift. Donations have been given by the radiologists, technologists, and other supporters, and in memory of 2 of our predecessor technologists, Walt Petula and Adele Livingston, who was the founder of this program. The 3rd memorial fund is from the F&C Long family. The first awards are for the most outstanding research projects and are funded by the Walton Ebby Petula Memorial Scholarship. In the 2nd year of training, the students create a scientific research paper as a requirement of the curriculum. This project may focus on any disease, procedure, or technical advancement that relates to the field of medical imaging. After the completion of the online pathology course, the research papers are turned over to a panel of judges, some of whom are previous award winners. With their evaluation, the top technical papers are selected for recognition. So I just want to say thank you to these judges who spent time in reading and evaluating the papers. This year, some of the alumni and recipients were recipients from the scholarship from last year. That would be Ashley DiMatteo. I don't know if she's here. Ashley, there she is. Thank you. Angie Farmer, who just showed me her 1 week old baby, 1 week. And Carla Affman, is Carla here? Carla, we thank Carla as well, also had a baby this year. In addition, we are grateful to Dr. Jesse Rayel, who is a radiologist from Sutter Pacific Medical Foundation. So we consider the following graduates experts in the subject they have studied for the past year. So allow us to present these winners to you. And I'm going to call third place first, and you'll just come up and get your award from Theo. Third place award for the paper entitled Pulmonary Embolism goes to Michelle Harris. Second place award for the paper entitled Brain, Gliomas, and MRI, we congratulate Courtney Beal. And the first place award for her research presentation entitled Hydrocephalus goes to Jenna Pearson. The next award is the F&C Loan Family Memorial Exam Fee Award, and it's given to 3 students who meet the criteria, which money is used to pay for the ART certification exam fees. Can you please come up together to receive your award, Erin Conway, Michelle Harris, and Jenna Pearson. The next honor is the Valedictorian Award. Family and friends of the graduates, your own family member sitting here has done such an outstanding job, but today we're going to be looking at that student, now graduate, who has the highest GPA. We present to you the top scholar of the class of 2017, our valedictorian, Michelle Harris. The next award is the Livingston Highest Achievement Award. When Adele Livingston, now deceased, founded this program over 45 years ago, she felt that, in her words, motivation, seriousness in study, and dedication to the field of radiology should be recognized, especially for the student who has had to work extremely hard to attain his or her goal. So Adele set up a fund many years ago to sponsor this award each year for the student who made the greatest improvement in GPA from the first course in the program until the end. And so we present to you this outstanding graduate. The Livingston Highest Achievement Award goes to David Agus. The next award is the F&C Lum Family Memorial RT Continuing Student Scholarship. And this funding is going to be going to 3 students from the class of 2018 who today have been elevated to the status of second-year students. It's official. Yeah. So they will receive a monetary award to help them with their ongoing educational expenses for the coming year. So I'm going to call 3 names. Unfortunately, only 2 of them are here, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but if you could come up, please. We would award to Francisco Garcia, Amanda Marie Hansen, Amanda Marie Hansen, and Maria Gutierrez Munoz. So Francisco couldn't be here because this is the kind of great student that he is. He is taking advantage of the Year to Career program that is offered for healthcare interpreter. And he had class tonight, so Professor Lair gave him his award yesterday, so we congratulate him as well. The next award, the last award, is a new award this year, which was initiated by the faculty to reward outstanding behavior in a new category. Within the program, we have traditionally used awards to recognize accomplishment in technical performance and/or academic achievements. But the faculty also thought it really important to recognize that student or students who not only demonstrate acumen in the technical aspects of the field, but also demonstrate those qualities that address the humanitarian aspects within our profession. So in that spirit, we have created what we have chosen to call the Compassion Award. Clinical instructors were asked to nominate students when they observed behaviors in the clinical environment that went above and beyond in showing compassionate care to their patients. 2 of our clinical instructors submitted short narratives about one of their respective students. Those narratives were then given to the RT faculty members without identifying the names of the nominees. And faculty members were instructed to vote for the student they felt most deserving. So as a result, 1 student from each class has been chosen to receive this award for demonstrating consistent and outstanding patient care and compassion. Sandra Knott, who is one of the clinical instructors at Sutter Santa Rosa Regional Hospital, wrote to us about one of our graduates in lovely and great detail. I won't read the narrative in its entirety, but I will just read to you in a moment the last paragraph about Teo Jacinto. Sandra wrote, this is just the last paragraph, she wrote a lot. That's how good he is. This student exhibits so many more wonderful qualities, but compassion, and she writes that in caps, clearly is one of his strong suits. It has been my very great pleasure to have had the opportunity to work with Teo Jacinto for 2 full semesters here at the hospital. A model rad tech student, he exhibits the kind of compassion you can only find in persons truly dedicated to a deep sense of caring and respect for all individuals. So, great honor to acknowledge and congratulate you. Closing our ceremony, I'm going to hand it over to Rich.
I have the pleasure to announce the winner of the Compassion Award for the continuing class, the new second-year class. And I am going to read this nomination because it so embodies what we try to inspire in our students. And as I read this, if I were a patient, this would be exactly the kind of care that I would hope that I would get. We were on our way upstairs to do a morning portable. We reviewed the requisition and determined our patient may be difficult due to his age and body habitus. When we got upstairs, the patient was on isolation precautions, but she had her can-do attitude and was ready to tackle the task. She slipped on her isolation gear in great form and was ready to roll. We entered the room and was greeted with an overwhelming stench so foul it almost knocked me to the ground. But she endured it like a champ. The smell didn't faze her. She walked right up to the patient with a big grin on her face and said, "Hi, I'm going to help you out today and take your chest x-ray, okay, buddy?" The patient smiled back. It was clear that he was at ease with her presence and appreciated being treated so well. After we had taken our images, she even offered to grab him a warm blanket, which necessitated taking off her isolation gown, running down the hall to grab the blanket, putting it all back on again. Human kindness and compassion are so important in this field. Rachel Clevin was gorgeous. I'm joined at the podium by Dean Deborah Chigazola. May I ask the candidates for graduation to please stand. Dean Chigazola, the candidates standing before you have been recommended and endorsed by the faculty as prepared to become radiologic technologists. They have met all of the student learning outcomes of the college courses. They have subscribed to the course of study by the American Registry of Radiologic Technology and the American Society of Radiologic Technology. I present them to you for commencement.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, which Sean would have said this too if you could stay, I present to you your certificate or your major in radiologic technology and all the rights and privileges that entails. Congratulations.
We will now symbolically move your tassel from the right to the left. And ladies and gentlemen, the newest radiologic technologist on the planet, thank you all for coming to our graduation tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. I'm certain that they did.
Thank you.